The time is the present. A house built way out on a country road with a living room and connecting kitchen and a center hall that leads off to the bedrooms. A pull cord in the hall ceiling releases a ladder which leads to the attic. One of the bedrooms opens directly onto the hall, and its ordinary door opens onto absolute nothingness. The living room is cluttered with magazines and needlework catalogs, ashtrays, and candy dishes. Examples of Mama's needlework are everywhere. Pillows, afghans, and quilts, doilies, and rugs, and they're quite nice. The house is more comfortable than messy, but there is quite a lot of space to keep in place. It is more personal than charming. It is not quaint. Jessie Cates is in her late 30s and vaguely unsteady physically. It is only in that last year that Jessie has gained control of her mind and body, and tonight, she's determined to hold on to that control. She wears pants and a long sweater with deep pockets, one of which contains a notepad and a pen. As a rule, Jessie doesn't feel much like talking. Other people have rarely found her quirky sense of humor amusing. She has a peaceful energy on this night, a sense of purpose, but is clearly aware of the time passing moment by moment. Oddly enough, Jessie has never been as communicative or as enjoyable as she is on this evening. But we must know she has not always been this way. There's a familiarity between these two women that comes from having lived together for a long time. There is a shorthand to the talk and a sense of routine comfort to the way they relate to each other physically. Naturally, there are also routine aggravations. Thelma Cates is Jessie's mother. In her late 50s, she's begun to feel her age and so takes it easy when she can, or when it serves her purposes to let someone help her. But she speaks quickly and enjoys talking. She believes that things are as she says they are. Her sturdiness is more a mental quality than a physical one. She is chatty and nosy, and this is her house. Mama hums some old little tune as she stretches to reach the cupcakes in a cabinet in the kitchen. She can't see them, but she can feel around for them, and she's eager to have one. So she's working pretty hard at it. This may be the most serious exercise Mama ever does. She finds a cupcake, the coconut-covered, raspberry and marshmallow-filled kind known as a snowball, but sees that there's one missing from the last package. She calls to Jess, who is apparently somewhere else in the house.
Jessie, it's the last box of snowball sugar. Put it on the list, okay? And we're out of Hershey bars, and where's that peanut brittle? I think maybe Dawson's been in it again. I had to put a big mirror on the refrigerator door. That'll keep him out of my treats, won't it? You hear me, honey? I hate it when the coconut falls off. Why does the coconut fall off?
Jessie enters the room carrying a stack of newspapers.
We got any old towels?
There you are.
Towels you don't want anymore. How about them swimming towels that Loretta gave us? Beach towel, that's the name of it. You want it?
What have you been doing in there?
And a big piece of plastic like rubber sheet or something. Garbage bags will do if there's enough.
Don't go making a big mess, Jess. It's 8 o'clock already.
Maybe in an old basket or towels we got in a soapbox sometime.
I said don't make a mess. You're black. Your hair's black enough, honey.
Jessie continues to search the kitchen cabinets, finding 2 or 3 more towels to add to her stack.
It's not for my hair, Mama. What about some old pillows anywhere or a foam cushion over a yard chair would be real good.
You haven't forgot what night it is, huh? They're all chipped, see? I've been waiting all week, Jess. It's Saturday night, honey.
I know. I got it on the schedule.
You want me to wash them now, or are you making your mess first? We're out of snowballs. Did I say that already?
There's more coming tomorrow. I ordered you a whole case.
A whole case will go stale, Jessie.
They can go in the freezer if you're ready for them. Where's Daddy's gun?
In the attic.
Where in the attic? I looked the whole nap and couldn't find it anywhere.
One of his shoe boxes. boxes, I think.
Full of shoes. I already looked.
Well, you didn't look good enough then. There's that box from the ones he wore to the hospital. When he died, they told me I could take him home. But I never did like those shoes.
I found the bullets. They were in an old milk can.
Dawson took the shotgun, didn't he? Hand me that basket, honey.
Dawson better not have taken that pistol.
Now my glasses, please. I told him to take those rubber boots too, but he said they were for fishing. I told him, take a fishing.
Jesse reaches for the cleaning spray and cleans Mama's glasses for her.
He's just too lazy to climb up there, Mama. Maybe he's just smart. That floor's not very steady.
Mama getting out a piece of knitting.
It's not a floor at all, honey. It's a board now and then.
Dawson could probably use some of those clothes up there. Somebody should have them. You ought to call the Salvation Army before the whole thing falls in on you.
It's plenty safe as long as you don't go up there.
I'm careful.
What do you want a gun for, Jesse?
Jesse, not returning this time, opening the ladder in the hall.
Protection.
She steadies the ladder as Mama talks.
You take the TV way too serious, honey. I've never seen a criminal in my life. This is way too far to come for we've got out here to steal. Never seen a one.
Except for Ricky.
Ricky is mixed up. That's not a crime.
Get your hands washed. I'll be right back. And get them real dry. You wash them dry until I get back, or it's a no-go, all right?
I thought Dawson told you not to go up those stairs.
You did.
I don't like the idea of a gun, Jesse.
Jesse calling down from the attic.
Which shoebox? Do you remember?
Black.
The box was black?
The shoes were black.
That doesn't help, Mama.
I'm not trying to help, sugar. We don't have anything anybody wants, Jesse. I mean, I don't even know what we got.
Neither do I. Wash your hands.
Mama gets up now and crosses to stand under the ladder.
You come down from there before you have a fit. I can't come up and get you, you know.
I know.
We'll just hand it over to them when they come. How's that? Whatever they want, the criminals.
That's a good idea.
Ricky will grow out of this and be a real fine boy, Jess. But I have to tell you, I wouldn't want Ricky to know that we had a gun in the house.
Here it is. I found it.
It's just something Ricky's going through. Maybe he's in with some bad people. He just needs some time, sugar. He'll get back in school or get a job, or one day you'll get a call and he'll say he's sorry for all the trouble he's caused and invite you out for supper, someplace dress up.
Jesse coming back down the stairs now.
Don't worry. It's not for him. It's for me.
I didn't think you would want to shoot your own boy, Jesse. I know I felt like it, but we've all felt like shooting somebody, but we don't do it. I just don't think we need to give you a gun or anything like that.
Your hands aren't washed. Do you want a manicure or not?
Yes, I do, but
Then wash your hands. Don't talk to me more about Ricky. Those 2 rings he took were the last valuable things I had. And now he's started in on other people, door to door. I hope they put him away sometime. I'd turn him in myself if I knew where he was.
you don't mean that.
Yeah, every word. Now wash your hands. And that's the last time I'm telling you.
Jesse sits down with the gun and starts cleaning it, pushing the barrel cylinder, checking to see that the chambers and barrel are empty, then putting some oil on a small patch of cloth, and pushing it through the barrel with the push rod that was in the box. Mama goes to the kitchen and washes her hands as instructed, trying not to show her concern about the gun.
I should have got you to bring down that milk can. And Miss Fletcher sold hers to somebody with a flea market for $40 a piece.
I'll go back and get a minute. There's a wagon wheel up there, and there's even a butter churn. I'll get whatever you want.
Mama coming over now, taking over now.
What are you doing?
That barrel has to be clean, Mama. Old powder dust gets in it.
What for?
I told you.
Mama reaching for the gun,
And I told you we don't get criminals out here.
Jesse quickly pulling it back to
And
her.
I told you the gun is for me.
Well, you can have it if you want. When I die, you'll get it all anyway.
Going to kill myself, Mama.
Very funny. Very funny.
I am.
You're not. Don't even say such a thing, Jesse.
How would you know if I didn't say it? You want it to be a surprise? You're lying in your bed or maybe just brushing your teeth and you hear this noise down the hall?
Kill yourself.
Shoot myself in a couple of hours.
It must be time for your medicine.
I took it already.
Then what's the matter with you?
Not a thing. I feel fine.
You feel fine, you're just going to kill yourself?
Waited until I felt good enough, in fact.
Don't make jokes, Jesse. I'm too old for jokes.
It's not a joke, Mama.
That gun's no good, you know. He broke it right before he died. He dropped it in the mud one day.
Seems okay.
Jesse spins the chamber, cocks the pistol, and pulls the trigger. The gun is not loaded yet, so all we hear is the click. But it will definitely work. It's also obvious that Jessie knows her way around the gun. Mama cannot speak.
I had Cecil already in there, just in case I couldn't find this one, but I'd rather use Daddy's.
Those bullets are at least 15 years old.
Jessie pulls out another box.
These are from last week.
Where did you get those?
Feed store Dawson told me about.
Dawson.
I told him I was worried about prowlers. He said he thought it was a good idea. He told me what kind to ask for.
If he had any idea.
He took it as a compliment. He thought I might be taking an interest in things. He got through telling me all about the bullets, and then he said we ought to talk like this more often.
And where was I while all this was going on?
On the phone with Agnes about the milk can. Anyway, I asked Dawson if he thought they sent me some bullets, and he said he just called for me because he knew they sent them to him. And then he was absolutely right. And here they are.
How could he do that?
He's just trying to help Mama.
And then I told you where the gun was.
See? Everybody's doing something.
You told me it was for protection.
It is. I'm still doing your nails, though. Want to try that new China Bear color?
Well, I'm calling Dawson right now. We'll just see what he has to say about this little stunt.
Dawson doesn't have any more to do with this.
He's your brother.
And that's all.
Mama stands up and moves towards the phone.
Dawson will put a stop to this. Yes, he will. He'll take that gun away.
If you call him, I'll just have to do it before he gets here. Soon as you hang up the phone, I'll just walk in the bedroom and lock the door.
You will not. That is crazy talk, Jesse.
Dawson will get here just in time for you to help clean up. Go ahead, call him. Then call the police. Then call the funeral home. Then call Loretta and see if she'll do your nails.
Mama goes directly to the telephone and starts to dial. But Jesse's fast, coming in behind her and hanging up the receiver and pulling it out of her hand. Putting it back down, Jessie now firm and quiet.
I said, no, this is private. Dawson is not invited.
Just me.
I don't want anybody else over here, just you and me. If Dawson comes over here, it'll make me feel stupid for not doing it 10 years ago.
I think we better call the doctor. Or how about the ambulance? Oh, you like that one driver I know. What's his name? Timmy. Get you somebody to talk to.
Jessie going back to her chair.
I'm done through talking, Mama. You're it. No more.
We're just gonna sit around like every other night in the world and then you're gonna kill yourself. You'll miss. You'll just wind up a vegetable. How about that? Shoot your ear off? You know what the doctor said about getting yourself worked up? You'll cock the pistol and have a fit.
I think I could kill myself, Mama.
You're not gonna kill yourself, Jesse. You're not even upset. People don't really kill themselves, Jesse. Doesn't make sense unless you're deranged and you're as normal as they come, Jesse. For the most part, we're all afraid to die.
I'm not, Mama. I'm cold all the time anyway.
That's ridiculous.
It's exactly what I want. It's dark and quiet.
So is the backyard, Jesse. Close your eyes. Stuff cotton in your ears. Take a nap. It's quiet in your room. I'll leave the TV off all night.
So quiet. I don't know what's quiet.
You
so
don't.
Nobody can get me.
You don't know what dead is like. It might not be quiet at all. What if it's like an alarm clock and you can't wake up so you can't shut it off, ever?
Dead is everybody and everything I ever knew. Gone. Dead is dead quiet.
It's a sin. You'll go to hell.
Mm-hmm.
You will.
Jesus was a suicide if you ask me.
You'll go to hell just for saying that, Jesse.
Didn't know I thought that.
Jesse.
She puts the now loaded gun back in the box and crosses to the kitchen. But Mama's afraid she's headed for the bedroom. Mama is in a panic.
You can't use my towels. They're my towels. I've had them for a long time. I like my towels.
I've asked you if you wanted the swimming towel, and you said you didn't.
And you can't use your father's gun either. It's mine too. And you can't do it in my house.
Oh, come on.
No, you can't do it. I won't let you. The house is in my name.
I have to go in the bedroom and lock the door behind me so they won't arrest you for killing me. They'll probably test your hands for gunpowder anyway, but you'll pass.
Not in my house.
If I'd known you were going to act like this, I wouldn't have told you.
How am I supposed to act? Tell you to go ahead? Ooh, okay by me, sugar. Might try myself. What took you so long?
There's just no point in fighting me over it. That's all. You want some coffee?
Your birthday's coming up, Jesse. Don't you want to know what we got you?
You got me dusting powder. Loretta got me a new house coat, pink probably, and Dawson got me new slippers, too small. But they go with the road, you'll say. Right. Be back in a minute.
Jessie takes the gun box, puts it on top of the stack of towels, and garbage bag and takes them into her bedroom. Mama, alone for a moment, goes to the phone, picks up the receiver, looks toward the bedroom, starts to dial, and then replaces the receiver in its cradle as Jesse walks back into the room. Jesse wonders silently. They've lived together for so long, there's very rarely any reason for one to ask what the other was about to do.
I started to, but I didn't. I didn't call him.
Good. Thank you.
What's this all about, Jesse?
About?
Jesse now begins the next task she had on the schedule, which is refilling all the candy jars, taking the empty papers out of the boxes of chocolates, etc. Mama generally snitches one right out of the jar while Jesse's doing this. But not tonight, though.
What did I do?
Nothing. You want a caramel?
You're mad at me.
Not a bit. I'm worried about you. But I'm gonna do what I can before I go. We're not just gonna sit around tonight. I made a list of things.
What things?
How the washer works, things like that.
Did you grow up wearing dirty clothes?
No.
I know how the washer works. You put the clothes in, you put the soap in, you turn it on, you wait.
When you do something else, you don't just wait.
Whatever else you find to do, you're still mainly waiting. The waiting's the worst part of it. That's what you pay somebody else to do if you can.
Okay. Where do we keep the soap?
I could find it.
See?
If you're mad about doing the wash, we can get Loretta to do it.
Oh wow, that might be something worth staying to see.
She'd never in her life, would she?
Nope.
What's the matter with her?
She thinks she's better than we are. She's not.
Maybe if she didn't wear that big bird yellow all the time.
Look, the washer repair number is in a little card taped on the side of the machine.
Loretta doesn't ever have to come here again. Dawson can just leave her at home when he comes, and we won't ever see Dawson either if he bothers you. Does he bother you?
Sure he does. Be sure you clean out the lint tray every time you go out into the dryer. But don't ever put your house shoes in. It'll melt the soles.
What does he do? What does he do that bothers you?
He just calls me Jess like he knows who he's talking to. He's always wondering what I do all day. I mean, I wonder that myself. But it's my day, so it's mine to worry about, not his.
Family is just accident, Jesse. It's nothing personal, honey. They don't mean to get on your nerves. They don't even mean to be your family. They just are.
They know too much.
About what?
They know things about you. And they learned it before you had a chance to say whether you wanted them to know it or not. They were there when it happened, and it don't belong to them. It belongs to you. Only they got to it. Like my mail order brolly that was delivered to their house.
By accident.
All the same, they opened it. They saw the little rosebuds on it.
Offering her another candy.
Chewy man.
What do they know about you? I'll tell them never to talk about it again. Is it Ricky or Cecil or your fits or your hair's falling out or you drink too much coffee or you never go out of the house or what?
I just don't like their talk. Look, the account is at the grocery is in Dawson's name when you call. The number's on a whole list of numbers on the back cover of the phone book.
Well, now we're getting somewhere. There are none of them ever setting foot in this house again.
It's not them, Mother. I wouldn't kill myself just to get away from them.
You leave the room when they come over anyway.
I'll stay as long as I can. Besides, it's you they come to see.
That's because I stay in the room when they come.
It's not them.
Then what is it?
Jesse checking the list on her notepad.
The grocery won't deliver on Saturday anymore, and if you want your order the same day, you have to call before 10. And they won't deliver less than $15 worth. What I do is tell them what we need and tell them to add on cigarettes until it's $15.
It's Ricky. You're trying to get through to him.
If I thought I could do that, I would stay.
Make him sorry he hurt you then. That's it, right?
He's hurt me, I've hurt him. We're about even.
With him, my mom did it.
Only a matter of time anyway, Mama. When the call comes, you just let Dawson handle it.
Honey, nothing says those calls are always going to be some new trouble he's into. You could get one that he's got a job, that he's getting married, or how about he's joining the army? Wouldn't that be nice?
Look, if you call the sweet tooth before you call the grocery, that Susie will take your fudge next door to the grocery and it'll all come out together. Be sure you talk to Susie though. She won't let them put it in the bottom of a bag like that one time. Remember?
Ricky could come over now. What if he calls us?
Or anybody could call us. Not on Saturday night, Mama.
Yeah, maybe they could. Then what is it? Are you sick? If your gums are swelling again, we can get you to the dentist in the morning.
No. You could order your medicine, or do you want Dawson to? I've got a note to him. I'll add it to you if you want.
Your eyes don't look right. I thought so yesterday.
It's just ragweed. I'm not sick.
Epilepsy is sick, Jesse.
But it won't kill me. If it would, I wouldn't have to.
You don't have to.
No, I don't. That's what I like about it.
Well, I won't let you.
It's not up to you.
Jesse,
I'm gonna hang a big sign around my neck like Daddy's in the barn. Gone fishing.
you don't like it here.
Exactly.
I meant here in my house.
I know you did.
You never should have moved back in here with me. If you'd kept your little house or found another place when Cecil left you, you'd have made some nice new friends at least. Had a life to lead, had your own things around you, give Ricky a place to come see you. You never should have come here.
Maybe.
But I didn't force you, did I?
If it was a mistake, we made it together. You took me in, I appreciate that.
You didn't have any business being by yourself right then, but I can see how you might want a place for yourself. You could be as close or as far as you wanted. A grown woman should always...
Mama, I'm just not having a very good time, and I don't have any reason to think it'll get anything but worse. I'm tired. I'm hurt. I'm sad. I feel used.
Tired of what?
It all.
What does that mean?
I can't say it any better.
Well, you'll have to say it better because I'm not letting you alone till you do. What were those other things? Hurt? You had this all ready to say to me, didn't you? Did you write this down? How long have you been thinking about this?
Off and on, 10 years. On all the time since Christmas.
What happened Christmas?
Nothing.
So why Christmas?
That's it. On the nose.
Mama knows exactly what Jessie means. She was there too, after all. Jessie putting the candy sacks away.
See where all this is? Red top up front, sour balls and whorehound mixed together in one sack. New packages of toffee and licorice right in back there.
Go back to your list. You're hurt by what?
Mama.
Okay, sad about what? There's nothing real sad going on right now. If it was after your divorce or something, that would make sense.
Jessie looks at her list, then opens the drawer.
Now this drawer has everything in it. That's no better place for it. Extension cords, batteries for the radio, extra lighters, sandpaper, masking tape, Elmo screw, thumbtacks, that kind of stuff. The mouse traps are under the sink, but you call Dawson if you get one and let him do it.
Sad about what?
Just the way things are.
Not good enough. What things?
Everything from you and me and Red China.
I think we can leave the Chinese out of this.
Jessie crosses back into the living room.
Look, there's extra light bulbs in a box in the hall closet, and we've got a couple of packages of fuses in the fuse box. There's candles and matches in the top of the broom closet, but if this light goes out, just call Dawson and sit tight. But don't open the refrigerator door. Things will stay cool if there's long as they keep the door shut.
I asked you a question.
Look, I read the paper. I don't like how things are, and they're not any better out there than they are in here.
If you're doing this because of the newspapers, I can sure fix that.
There's just more of it on TV.
Mama kicks the television.
Take it out then.
You wouldn't do that.
Watch me.
What would you do all day?
Sing. I would too. You want to watch? I'll sing till morning to keep you alive, Jessie.
Well, what would you sing?
We've got a good life here.
Jessie going back into the kitchen.
I called this morning and canceled the papers, except for Sunday for your puzzles. You'll still get that one.
Let's get another dog, Jessie. You like the big dog. That king dog, didn't you?
Jessie washing her hands.
I did like that king dog, yeah.
I'm so dumb. He's the one that ran into the tractor.
That makes him dumb, not you.
For bringing it up.
It's okay. Handy wipes and sponges under the sink.
We could get a new dog and keep him in the house. Dogs are cheap.
Jessie now getting pill jars out of the cabinet.
Nah.
Something for you to take care of.
I've had you, Mama.
Mama frantically starts filling pill bottles.
You do too much for me. I can fill bottles all day. And change the shelf paper and wash the floor when I get through. You just watch me. You don't have to do another thing in this house if you don't want to. You don't have to take care of me, Jessie.
I know that. You've just been letting me do it all this time, haven't you?
I don't do it as well as you. I just meant if it tires you out or makes you feel used.
Mama, I know you used to ride the bus. Riding the bus and it's hot and bumpy and crowded and too noisy, more than anything in the world, you just want to get off And the only reason in the world you don't get off is because it's still 50 blocks from where you're going. Well, I get off right now if I want to. Because even if I ride 50 more years and get off then, it's the same place where I step down in. Whenever I feel like it, I can get off. As soon as I've had enough, it's my stop. If I've had enough.
You're feeling sorry for yourself.
The plumber's helper is under the seat too.
You're not having a good time. Whoever promised you a good time? Do you think I've had a good time?
I think you're pretty happy. You've had things you'd like to do.
Like what?
Like crochet.
I'll teach you to crochet.
I can't do any of that nice work, Mama.
Good time don't come looking for you, Jessie. You could work some puzzles or put it in the garden or go to the store. Let's call a taxi and go to the A&P.
I shot you up for 2 weeks already. You're not gonna need toilet paper until Thanksgiving.
You're acting like some little brat, Jessie. You're mad and everybody's boring and you don't have anything to do and you don't like me and you don't like going out and you don't like staying in and you never talk on the phone and you don't watch TV and you're miserable and it's your own sweet fault.
And it's time I did something about it.
Not something like killing yourself, something like buying us all new dishes. I'd like that. Or maybe the doctor would let you get a driver's license now. Or I know what, let's do it this minute. Let's rearrange the furniture.
I'll do that if you want. I always thought if the TV was somewhere else, you wouldn't get such a glare during the day. I'll do whatever you want before I go.
You could get a job.
I took that telephone sales job and I didn't even make enough money to pay the phone bill. And I tried to work at the gift shop at the hospital and they said I made people feel real uncomfortable smiling the way I did.
You could keep books. You kept your dad's book.
But nobody checked them.
When he died, they checked them.
And then when they took them away from me.
That's because without him, there wasn't any business, Jessie.
Jessie puts the pill bottles away now.
You know I couldn't work. I can't do anything. I've never been around people my whole life except for when I went to the hospital. I could have a seizure anytime. What good would a job do? The kind of job I could get would make me feel worse.
Jessie,
It's true.
it's what you think is true.
That's right. It's what I think is true.
But I can't do anything about that.
No, you can't. And I can't do anything either about my life to change it, make it better, make me feel better about it, like it better, make it work. But I can stop it, shut it down, turn it off like the radio when there's nothing on I want to listen to. It's all I really have that belongs to me. And I'm going to see what happens to it. And I'm going to stop it. And I'm going to make an end to it. So let's just have a good time.
Have a good time.
We can't go fussing all night. I mean, I could ask you things I always wanted to know and you can make me some hot chocolate.
Oh, wait. It takes cocoa, Jessie.
And Jessie gets it out of the cabinet.
I bought cocoa, Mama. And I like to have a caramel apple and do your nails.
You didn't eat a bite of your supper.
Does that mean I can't have a caramel apple?
Of course not. I mean, of course you can have a caramel apple.
I thought I could.
I make the best caramel apples in the world.
I know you do.
Or used to. And you don't get cocoa like mine anymore, anywhere.
It takes time, I know. But
The salt is the trick.
trouble and everything.
Mama backing away toward the stove.
It's no trouble. What trouble? You put it in the pan and stir it up. All right, fine. Caramel apples and cocoa. Okay.
Jessie walks to the counter to retrieve her cigarettes as Mama looks for the right pan. There was a brief smile and maybe even Mama clears her throat. We have a truce for the moment, a genuine but nevertheless uneasy one. Jessie, who has been in a constant state of motion since the beginning, now seems content to sit. Mama starts looking for a pan to make the cocoa, getting out all the pans in the cabinets in the process. It looks like she's making a mess on purpose, so Jessie will have to put them all away later. Mama is buying time, or trying to, and entertaining.
You talked to Agnes today?
She's calling me from a payphone this week. God only knows why. She has a perfectly good phone at home.
Well, how is she?
How is she every day, Jessie? Nuts.
Is she just crazy or silly?
No, she's really crazy. She was probably using the payphone because she had another little fire at home.
Mother!
I'm serious. Agnes Fletcher's burned down every house she ever lived in. 8 fires, and she's due for a new one any day now.
No!
Wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Why didn't you tell me this before? And why isn't she locked up somewhere?
Because nobody ever got hurt, I guess. Agnes woke everybody up to watch the fires as soon as she settled it.
Well, that's awful, I guess.
One time she set out porch chairs and served lemonade.
Real lemonade?
The houses they lived in, you knew they were gonna fall down anyway, so why wait for it? It's all I could ever make out about it. Agnes likes the feeling of accomplishment.
Well, good for her.
Why are you asking about Agnes? 1 cup or 2?
One. She's your friend. No marshmallows.
You have to have marshmallows. That's the old way, Jess. 2 or 3. 3 is better.
3 then. Her whole house burns up? Her clothes and pillows and everything? I'm not sure I believe this.
When she was a girl, Jess, not now, a long time ago. But she still got it in her, I'm sure of it.
She wouldn't burn her house down now. Where would she go? She can't get Buster to build her a new one. He's dead. How could she burn it up?
Be exciting though if she did. You never know.
You do too know, Mama. She wouldn't do it.
I guess not.
What else? Why does she all wear those whistles around her neck?
Why does she have a house full of birds?
I didn't know she had a house full of birds.
Well, she does, and she says they just follow her home. Well, I know for a fact she's still paying on the last parrot she bought. You gotta keep your life filled up, she says. She says a lot of stupid things. It's all that okra she eats. You can't just willy-nilly eat okra 2 meals a day and expect to get away with it. Made her crazy.
She really eats okra twice a day? Where does she get it in the winter?
Well, she eats it a lot. Maybe not 2 meals, but
More than the average person.
I don't know how much the average person eats.
Do you know how much okra Agnes eats?
No.
Well, how many birds does she have?
2.
Then what are the whistles for?
They're not real whistles, just little plastic ones on a necklace she won playing bingo. And I only told you about it because I thought it might get a laugh out of you for once, even if it wasn't the truth. Things don't have to be true to talk about them, you know.
Why won't she ever come over here?
Mama is suddenly quiet, but the cocoa and milk are in the pan now, so she lights the stove and starts stirring.
Well, now what a good idea. We should have had more cocoa. Cocoa is perfect.
Except you don't like milk.
I hate milk. It coats your throat as bad as okra. Something just downright disgusting about it.
It's because of me, isn't it?
No, Jess.
Okay then. But she's crazy.
Yeah, she's crazy. She's as crazy as they come. She's a lunatic.
Well, what is it exactly? Did I say something sometime, or did she see me have a fit and is afraid I might have another one if she came closer? What?
I guess.
You guess what? Whatever she said, she must have given you some reason.
Your hands are cold.
What difference does that make?
Like a corpse, she says. And I'm gonna be one soon enough as it is, she says.
That's crazy.
That's Agnes. Jesse shook the hand of death, and I can't take the chance it's catching, Thelma. So I ain't coming over, and you can understand or not, but I ain't coming. I'll come up the driveway, but that's as far as I go.
I thought she didn't like me. She's scared of me? How about that? She's scared of me.
I can make her come over here, Jesse. I could call her up right now, and she could bring the birds and come visit. I didn't even know you even thought about her. I'll tell her she just has to come over, and she'll come. She owes me one.
No, that's all right. I just wondered about it. When I'm in the hospital, does she come over here?
Her kitchen is just a tiny thing. When she comes over here, she feels like, well, we all like a change of scene, don't we?
Sure we do. Plus, there's no birds diving around.
I hate those birds. She says I don't understand them. What's there to understand about birds?
Why Agnes liked them for one thing. Why they stay with her when they could be outside with the other birds. How much water they need. What their singing means. How they fly. What they think Agnes is.
Why do you have to know so much about things, Jesse? There's just not that much to things that I could ever see.
That you could ever tell, you mean. You didn't have to lie to me about Agnes.
I didn't lie. You never asked before.
You lied about setting fire to all those houses and about how many birds she has and how much okra she eats and why she won't come over here. If I have to keep dragging the truth out of you, this is going to go on all night.
That's fine with me. I'm not
Mom.
a bit sleepy. All right. Ask me whatever you want.
And they come to an awkward stop. As the cocoa is ready and Mama pours it into the cups Jessie has ready, as Mama takes her first sip.
Did you ever love Daddy?
No.
I didn't think so. Were you really 15 when you married him?
The way he told it, I'm sitting in the mud. He comes along, drags me in the kitchen. She's been there ever since.
Yeah.
No. It was a big fat lie, the whole thing. He just thought it was funnier that way. God, this milk in here.
The cocoa helps.
Not enough though, does it? Ugh, you can still taste it, can't you?
Yeah. It's pretty bad. I thought it was my memory that was bad, but it's not. It's the milk, all right.
It's a real waste of chocolate. You don't have to finish it.
Jessie puts her cup down.
Thanks, though.
I should have known not to make it. I knew you wouldn't like it. You never did like it.
You didn't ever love him or did something and you stopped loving him or what?
He felt sorry for me. He wanted a plain country woman and that's what he married. And then he held it against me for the rest of my life. Like I was supposed to change or something and surprise him somehow. Like I remember this one day he was standing on the porch and I told him to get a shirt on and he went in and got one and then he said, real peaceful but to the point, "You're right, Thelma. If God had meant for people to go around without any clothes on, they'd have been born that way."
He didn't mean anything by that, Mama.
He never said a word. He didn't have to, Jessie. That was probably all he'd said to me all day. So if he said it, there was something to it. But I never did figure out what that one meant. What did he mean?
I don't know. I liked him better than you did, but I didn't know him any better.
How could I love him, Jessie? I didn't have a thing he wanted. He got his share, though. You loved him enough for both of us. You followed him around like some... Jessie, all the man ever did was farm and sit and try to think of somebody to sell the farm to.
Or make me a boyfriend out of pipe cleaners and sit back and smile like the stick man was about to dance and wasn't I going to get a kick out of that? Or sit up with a sick cow all night and leave me in a chain of sleepy stick elephants on my bed in the morning.
Or just sit.
I liked him sitting. Big old faded blue man in a chair, quiet.
Agnes gets more talk out of her birds than I got from the two of you. He could have had that gone fishing sign around his neck in that chair. I saw him stare off at the water. I saw him look at the weather rolling in. I got to where I could practically see the boat myself. You're gonna tell me.
I don't know, Mama. His life, I guess. His corn, his boots, us. Things, you know.
No, I don't know, Jessie. You had those quiet little conversations after supper every night. What were you whispering about?
We weren't whispering. You were just across the room.
What did you talk about?
We talked about why black socks are warmer than blue socks. Is that something to go tell Mother? You were just jealous because I'd rather talk to him than wash the dishes with you.
I was jealous because you'd rather talk to him than anything.
Jessie reaches across the table for the small clock and starts to wind it.
If I had died instead of him, he wouldn't have taken you in like I did.
I wouldn't have expected him to.
Then what would you have done?
Come visit.
Oh, I see. He died and left you stuck with me and you're bad about
Jessie getting up from the table.
Not anymore. He didn't mean to. I didn't have to come here. We've been through this.
it. Or maybe you think if I'd love him more, or at all, he'd still be alive.
I never thought that.
He felt sorry for you two. He felt sorry, Jessie. Don't kid yourself about that. He said you were a runt, and he said it from the day you were born, and he said you didn't have a fighting chance.
Jessie gets the canister of sugar and starts refilling the sugar bowl.
But I know he loved me.
What if he did? It didn't change anything.
It didn't have to. I missed him.
He never really went fishing, you know, never once. His tackle box was full of chewing tobacco, and all he ever did was drive out to the lake and sit in his car. Dawson told me, and Benny at the bait shop, he told Dawson. They all laughed about it, and he'd come back from fishing, and all he had to show for it was a whole pipe cleaner family. Chickens, pigs, a dog with a bad leg. It was creepy strange. It made me sick to look at them. And I hit his pipe cleaners a couple of times, but he always had more somewhere.
I thought it might be better for you after he died. You'd get interested in things, breed better, change somehow.
Into what, the queen? A clerk in a shoe store? Why should I? Because he said to? Because you said to? Well, I wasn't here for his entertainment, and I'm not here for yours either, Jessie. I don't know what I'm here for, but then I don't think about it. But I bet you wouldn't be killing yourself if he were still alive. Well, that's a fine thing for me to figure out, isn't it?
Jessie filling the honey jar now.
That's not true.
Oh, no? Then what were you asking about him for? Why did you want to know if I loved him?
I didn't think you did. That's all.
Fine then, you were right. Do you feel better now?
Jessie cleans the honey jar carefully.
This feels good to be right about it.
It didn't matter whether I loved him. It didn't matter to me, and it didn't matter to him. And it didn't mean we didn't get along. It wasn't important. We didn't talk about it.
Sweeping the pots off the cabinet.
Take all these pots out to the porch.
What for?
Just leave me this one pan.
She jerks the silverware drawer open.
Give me one knife, one fork, one big spoon, the can opener, and put them out where I can get them.
Starts throwing knives and forks in one of the pans.
Don't do that. I just straightened that drawer.
Mama throws the pan in the sink.
And throw out all the plates and cups. I'll use paper. Loretta can have what she wants, and Dawson can sell the rest.
What are are you doing?
I'm not gonna cook. I never liked it anyway. I like candy wrapped in plastic and coming in sacks and tuna. I like tuna. I'll eat tuna.
Jesse taking the pan out of the sink.
What if you want to make apple butter? You can't make apple butter in that little pan. And what if you leave carrots on cooking and burn up that pan?
I don't like carrots.
What if you go strawberry picking with Agnes?
I'll tell her to bring a pan. You said you would do whatever I wanted. I don't want a bunch of pans cluttering up my cabinets. I can't get to anyway. Throw them out, every last one.
Jesse gathering up all the pots.
I'm putting them all back in. I'm not taking them out to the porch. If you want them, they'll be here. You'll bend down and get them, just like you got the one for the cocoa. And if somebody else comes over here to cook, then you'll have something to cook, and that's the end of it.
Who's gonna come cook here?
Agnes,
In my pots, not in your life.
there's no reason why you two couldn't just live together. Be cheaper for the both of you, somebody to talk to. And if the birds bothered you, well, one day when Agnes goes and gets her hair done, you can just take them for a walk.
Mama, as Jesse straightens the silverware.
So that's why you're pestering me about Agnes. You think you can rest easy if you can get me a new babysitter? Well, I don't want to live with Agnes. I barely want to talk with Agnes. She's just around. If we go back, that's all. I'm not letting Agnes near this place. You don't get off as easy as that, child.
Okay then, it's just something to think about.
I don't like things to think about. I like things to go on.
Jesse closes the silverware drawer.
I want to know what Daddy said to you the night he died. You came storming out of his room and said I could wait it out with him if I wanted to, but you were going to go watch Gunsmoke. What did he say to you?
He didn't have anything to say to me, Jesse. That's why I left. He didn't say a thing. It was his last chance not to talk to me, and he took full advantage of it.
I'm sorry you didn't love him. Sorry for you, I mean. He seemed like a nice man.
Ready for your apple now?
As soon as I'm through here, Mama.
You won't like the apple either. It'll be just like the cocoa. You never liked eating anything at all, did you? What did you survive on all these years? Toothpaste?
Jesse, as she starts to clean out the refrigerator.
Now you know the milkman comes on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and he leaves the order blanket in Ed box and gives you the bills to Dawson once a month.
Do they still make that orangeade?
It's not orangeade, it's just orange.
I'm gonna get some. I thought they stopped making it. You just stopped ordering it.
You should drink milk.
Not anymore, I'm not. That hot chocolate was the last. Hooray!
Jesse getting the garbage can from under the sink.
I told him to keep delivering a quart a week no matter what you said. I told him you'd run out of Cokes and you'd have to drink it. I told him I knew you wouldn't pour it out on the ground.
And you told them you weren't going to be ordering anymore?
I told them I was taking a little holiday and to look after you.
And they didn't think something was funny about that? You who doesn't go to the front steps? You who only sees the driveway looking down from a stretcher passed out cold?
They said it was about time, but why didn't I take you with me? And I said I didn't think you'd want to go, and they said, yeah, everybody's got their own idea of vacation.
I guess you think that's funny.
Jesse pulling jars out of the refrigerator.
You know there was never any reason to call the ambulance for me. All they ever did for me in the emergency room was let me wake up. I could have done that here. Now I'll just call them out and you say yes or no. I know you like pickles. Ketchup?
Keep it.
We've had this since last 4th of July.
Keep the ketchup. Keep it all.
Are you gonna drink ketchup from the bottle or what? How can you want your food and not want pots to cook in it? This stuff will all spoil here, Mother.
Nothing I ever did was good enough for you, and I want to know why.
That's not true.
And I want to know why you've lived here this long feeling the way you do.
You have no earthly idea how I feel.
Well, how could I? You're real far back there, Jesse.
Back where?
What's it like over there where you are? Do people always say the right thing or get whatever they want or what?
What are you talking about?
Why do you read the newspaper? Why don't you wear that sweater I made for you? Do you remember how I used to look, or am I just any old lady to you now? When you have a fit, do you see stars or what? How did you fall off that horse, really? Why did Cecil leave you? Where did you put my old glasses?
They're in the bottom drawer of your dresser in an old milk of magnesia box. Cecil left me because he made me choose between him and smoking.
Jesse, I know he wasn't that dumb.
I never understood why he hated it so much when it's so good. Smoking is the only thing I know that's always just what you think it's gonna be. Just like it was the last time, and right there when you want it, and real quiet.
Your fits made him sick and you know it.
Say seizures, Mama, not fits, seizures.
It's the same thing. A seizure in the hospital is a fit at home.
They didn't bother him at all, except he did feel responsible for it. It was his idea to go horseback riding that day. It was his idea that I could do anything if I just made my mind to. I fell off the horse because I didn't know how to hold on. Cecil left me pretty much for the same reason.
He had a girl, Jesse. I walked in on them in the tool shed.
Okay, that's fair.
Lights another cigarette.
Was she very pretty?
She was Agnes's girl, Cardine. Judge for yourself.
Jessie as she walks to the living room.
I guess you and Agnes had a real good talk about that, huh?
I never thought he was good enough for you. They moved you from Tennessee, you know.
What are you talking about? You liked him better than I did. You flirted with him out there to build your porch, or I'd never even meet him. You thought maybe I'd help you around this place. Come in and get some coffee and talk to you. God knows what you thought. All that curly hair.
He's the best carpenter I ever saw. That little house of yours will be standing at the end of the world, Jesse.
You didn't need a porch, Mama.
All right, I wanted you to have a husband.
And I couldn't get one on my own, of course.
How are you gonna get a husband never opening your mouth to a living soul?
So I was quiet about it, so what?
So I should have let you just sit here like your daddy. Sit here.
Maybe.
Well, I didn't think so.
But what did you know?
I never said I knew much. How was I supposed to learn anything living out here? I didn't know enough to do half the things I did in my life. Things happen. You do what you can about them and you see what happens next. I married you off to the wrong man, I admit that. So I took you in when he left. I'm sorry.
He wasn't the wrong man.
He didn't love you, Jesse, or he wouldn't have left.
He wasn't the wrong man, Mama. I love Cecil so much. And I tried to get more exercise and I tried to stay awake. I tried to learn how to ride a horse. And I tried to stay outside with him. But he always knew I was trying, so it didn't work.
He was a selfish man. He told me once he hated to see people move into the houses after he built them. He knew that they messed them up.
I love that bridge he built over the creek in back of the house. It didn't have anything special. A couple of boards would have been just fine. But he used that yellow pine and rubbed it real so smooth.
He had responsibilities here. He had a wife and a son here, and he failed you.
Or that baby bed he built for Ricky. I told him he didn't have to spend so much time on it, but he said he had to last, and the thing ended up weighing 200 pounds, and I couldn't move it. I said, how long did a baby bed have to last anyway? But maybe he thought if it was strong enough, it might keep Ricky a baby.
But Ricky is too much like Cecil.
He is not. Ricky as much as me is humanly possible. He even wear the same pants. These are his, I think.
That's just the same size. That's not you're the same people.
I see it on his face. I hear it when he talks. We look out at the world and we see the same thing. Not fair. And the only difference between us and Ricky is out there trying to get even. And he knows not to trust anybody, and he got it straight from me. And he knows not to try to get work, and guess where he got that? And he walks around like there's loose boards in the floor, and you know who laid that floor? I did.
Ricky isn't through yet. You don't know how he'll turn out.
Jessie going back to the kitchen.
Yes, I do, and so did Cecil. Ricky is the two of us together all the time in too small a space, and we're tearing each other apart like always. Inside that boy, and if you don't see it, then you're just blind.
Give him time, Jess.
Oh, he'll have plenty of that. 5 years for forgery, 10 years for armed assault.
Stop that! Jesse, Cecil might be ready to try it again, honey. That happens sometimes. Go downtown, find him, talk to him. He didn't know what he had in you. Maybe he sees things differently now. But you're not gonna know until you go and see him. Or call him up. Right now, he might be home.
And say what? Nothing's changed, Cecil. I just like to look at you, if you don't mind. No. He loved me, Mama. He just didn't know how things fall down around me like they do. I think he did the right thing. He gave himself another chance, that's all. But I did beg him to take me with him. I did tell him I would leave Ricky and you and everything I loved out here if only he would take me with him. But he couldn't. And I understand that. I wrote that note. I wrote that note that I showed you. Not Cecil. I said, I'm sorry, Jesse. I can't fix it all for you. I said I'd always love me, not Cecil. But that's how he felt.
Then he should have taken you with him.
Jessie picking up the garbage bag she has filled.
Mama, you don't pack your garbage when you move.
You will not call yourself garbage, Jesse.
Jesse taking the bag to the big garbage can.
It's just a way of saying it, Mama. Thinking about my list, that's all.
Opening the can, putting the garbage in the can, and securing the lid.
Well, a little more than that. I was just trying to say it all. That Cecil left, it was a relief in a way. I never was what he wanted to see, so it's better when he wasn't looking at me all the time.
I'll make your apple now.
No, thanks. You get the manicure stuff and I'll be right there.
Jesse ties up the big garbage bag in the can and replaces the small garbage bag under the sink, all the time trying desperately to regain her calm. Mama watches from a distance, her hand reaching unconsciously for the phone. Then she has a better idea, or rather she thinks of the only other thing left and is willing to try it.
Jesse.
Maybe she's even convinced it will work.
Jesse, I think your dad had a little...
Garbage night is Tuesday. Put it out as late as you can. The Davis's dogs will get in it if you don't.
Now replacing the garbage sack in the can under the sink.
And keep ordering the heavy black bags. It doesn't pay to buy the cheap ones. And I've got all the ties here with the hammers and all. Take them out of the box as soon as you open a new one and put them in this drawer. They'll get lost if you don't. And rubber bands or something else won't work.
Jesse, I think your daddy had fits too. I think he sat in his chair and had little fits. I read this a long time ago in a magazine, how little fits go, just little blackouts where maybe people sit there and their eyes don't even close and people just call them thinking spells or something.
Jesse getting the slip cover out of the laundry basket.
I don't think you want this manicure we've been looking forward to. I watched this cover for the sofa, but it'll take both of us to get it on.
I watched his eyes. I know that's what it was. The magazine said some people don't even know that they've had one.
Daddy would have known if he had fits, Mama.
The lady in the story kept track of her fits and she'd had 80,000 of them in the last 11 years.
Next time you watch this cover, it'll dry better if you put it on wet.
Jesse, listen to what I'm telling you. This lady had anywhere between 5 and 500 fits a day, and they lasted maybe 15 seconds apiece. So that out of her life, she'd only lost about 2 weeks altogether, and she had a full-time secretary job and an IQ of 120.
You want to talk about fits? Is that it?
Yes, I do. I want to say that...
Most of the time, I don't even know I had one, except when I wake up with different clothes on, feeling like I've been run over. Sometimes I feel like my head starts to turn and I hear myself scream. And sometimes there is this dizzy, stupid feeling a little before it. But if the TV's on, well, then it's easy to miss.
As Jesse and Mama replace the slip cover on the sofa and the Afghan on the chair, the physical struggle somehow mirrors the emotional one in the conversation.
I can tell when you're about to have one. Your eyes get this big. But Jesse, you haven't heard
What do they look like? The seizures.
Different each time, Jesse.
Okay, pick one then. A good one. I think I want to know now.
There's not much to tell. You just crumple in a heap like a puppet, or somebody cut the strings all at once. Or like the firing squad in some Mexican movie. You just slide down the wall, you know. You don't know what happens? How can you not know what happens?
Busy?
That's not funny.
I'm not laughing. My head turns around and I fall down, and then what?
Well, your chest squeezes in and out, and you sound like you're gagging, sucking air in and out like you just can't breathe.
How did you do it?
I call Dawson, but I get you cleaned up before he gets here, and I make him leave before you wake up.
You could just leave me on the floor.
I want you to wake up someplace nice, okay? But Jesse, and this is the reason I even brought this up, you haven't had a seizure for a solid year. A whole year. Do you realize that?
Yeah, the phenobar's about right now, I guess.
You bet it is. You might never have another one, ever. You might be through with it for all time.
Could be.
You are. I know you are.
I sure am feeling good. I really am. The double vision's gone and my gums aren't swollen or rashes or anything. I'm feeling good as I ever felt in my life. I'm even feeling like worrying or getting mad, and I'm not afraid I'll start a fit if I do. Just go ahead.
Of course you do. You can even scream at me if you want to. I can take it. You don't have to act like you're just visiting here, Jesse. This is your house too.
The best part is my memory's back.
Your memory's always been good. When couldn't you remember things? You're always reminding me what to do.
Because I've made lists for everything. But now I remember what things mean on my list. I see dish towels, and I used to wonder whether I was supposed to wash them, buy them, or look for them because I wouldn't remember where I put them after I washed them. But now I know it means to wrap them up. They're a present for Loretta's birthday.
Mama finished with the sofa now.
You used to go looking for the list too. I've noticed that. You always know where they are now. Loretta's birthday isn't coming up, is it?
I made a whole list of birthdays for you. I even put yours on it. So you can call Loretta and remind her.
Let's take Loretta to Howard Johnson's and have those fried clams. You like that clam roll, right?
I won't be there, Mom.
What have we been talking about, Jesse? You'll be here. You're well. You're starting all over. You said it yourself. You're remembering things and you're...
I won't be here. If I'd ever had a year like this to think straight and on before now, I'd be gone already.
No, Jesse.
Jesse folding the rest of the laundry.
Yes, Mama. Once I started remembering, I could see what it all added up to.
The fits are over.
It's not the fits, Mama.
Then it's me forgiving them to you, but I didn't do it.
It's not the fits. You said it yourself. The medicine takes care of the fits.
Your daddy gave you those fits, Jesse. He passed it down to you like your light eyes and your straight hair. It's not my fault.
So what if he had little fits? It's not inherited. I fell off the horse. It was an accident.
The horse wasn't the first time, Jesse. You had a fit when you were 5 years old.
I did not.
You did. You were eating a popsicle and down you went. He gave it to you. It's his fault, not mine.
Well, you sure took your time telling me.
How do you tell that to a 5-year-old?
What did the doctor say?
He said kids have them all the time. He said there wasn't anything to do but wait for another one.
But I didn't have another one. You mean to tell me I had fits this whole time as a kid and you just told me I fell down or something and wasn't I had the fits when Cecil was looking that anybody bothered to find out what was the matter with me?
It wasn't all the time, Jesse, and they changed when you started school. More like daddy's. Oh, that was some swell time sitting here with the two of you turning on and off like light bulbs.
Well, how many fits did I have?
You never hurt yourself. I never let you out of my sight. I caught you every time.
But you didn't tell anybody.
It was none of their business.
You were ashamed.
I didn't want anybody to know, least of all you.
Least of all me? All right, that was mine to know, Mama, not yours. Did Daddy know?
He thought you were, that you fell down a lot. That's what he thought. He thought you were careless. Or maybe he thought I beat you. I don't know what he thought. He didn't think about it.
Because you didn't tell him.
If I told him about you, I'd have to tell him about him.
I don't like this. I don't like this one bit.
I didn't think you'd like it. That's why I didn't tell you.
If I'd known I had epileptic, Mama, I wouldn't have ridden any horses.
Make you feel like a freak? Is that what I should have done?
Just go get the manicure tray and sit down.
I don't want a manicure.
Doesn't look like you do, no.
Maybe I did drop you. You don't know.
If you say you didn't, you didn't.
Maybe I fed you the wrong thing. Maybe you had a fever sometime and I didn't know it soon enough. Maybe it's a punishment.
For what?
I don't know. Because of how I felt about your father, because I didn't want any more children, because I smoked too much or didn't eat right when I was carrying you. It has to be something I did.
It does not. It's just a sickness, not a curse. Epilepsy doesn't mean anything. It just is.
I'm not talking about the fits here, Jesse. I'm talking about this killing yourself. It has to be me that's the matter here. You wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't. I didn't tell you things, or I married you off to the wrong man, or I took you in and let your life get away from you, or all of it put together. I don't know what I did, but I did it. I know. This is all my fault, Jesse, but I don't know what to do about it now.
It doesn't have anything to do with you.
Everything has to do with me. Everything you do has to do with me, Jesse. You can't do anything, wash your face or cut your finger without doing it to me. That's right, you might as well kill me as you, Jesse. It's the same thing. This has to do with me, Jesse.
Then what if it does? What if it has everything to do with you? What if you are all I have and you're not enough? What if I could take all the rest of it if only I didn't have you here? What if the only way I could get away from you for good is to kill myself? What if it is? I can still do it.
Don't leave me, Jesse.
Jesse
No.
stands for a moment, then turns for the bedroom. Mama grabs her arm. Jesse carefully takes her arm away.
I have a box of things I want people to have. I'm just gonna go get it for you. You just rest a minute.
And Jesse is gone, and Mama heads for the telephone. but she can't even pick up the receiver this time, and instead stoops to clean up the bottles that are spilled out of the tray. Jessie returns carrying a box that groceries were delivered in. Mama is still down on the floor, cleaning up, hoping that maybe, if she just makes it look nice enough, Jessie will stay.
Jessie, how can I live here without you? I need you. You're supposed to tell me to stand up straight and say how nice I look in my pink dress and drink my milk. You're supposed to go around and lock up so I know we're safe for the night. And when I wake up, you're supposed to be out there making the coffee and watching me get older every day. You're supposed to help me die when the time comes. I can't do that by myself, Jessie. I'm not like you, Jessie. I hate the quiet, and I don't want to die, and I don't want you to go, Jessie. How can I get up every day knowing you had to kill yourself to make it stop hurting, and I was here all this time, and I never even saw it, and then you gave me this chance to make it better, convince you to stay alive, and I couldn't do it. How can I live with myself after this, Jessie?
I only told you so I can explain it, so you wouldn't blame yourself, so you wouldn't feel bad. There wasn't anything you could say to change my mind. I didn't want you to save me. I just wanted you to know.
Stay with me just a little longer. Just a few more years. I don't have many more to go, Jessie, and as soon as I'm dead, you can do whatever you want. Maybe with me gone, you'll have all the quiet you want right here in the house. And maybe one day you'll put up some begonias and right up the walk and get just the right rain for them all summer. And Ricky will be married by then, and he'll bring you grandbabies over, and you can sneak them a piece of candy when their daddy's not looking, and then be real glad when they've gone home and left you to your quiet again.
Don't you see, Mama? Everything I do winds up like this. How could I think you would understand? How could I think you would want a manicure? We could hold hands for an hour and then I go shoot myself. I'm sorry about tonight, Mama, but this is exactly what I'm gonna do.
If you've got the guts to kill yourself, Jessie, you've got the guts to stay alive.
I know that. So it's just really a matter of time of where I'd rather be.
Look, maybe I can't think of what you should do, but that doesn't mean there isn't something that would help. You find it, you think of it. You can keep trying, you can get brave and try some more. You don't have to give up.
I'm not giving up. This is the other thing I'm trying. And I'm sure there are some other things that might work. But might work isn't good enough for me anymore. I need something that will work. This will work. That's why I picked it.
But something might happen, something that could change everything. Who knows what that might be? But it might be worth waiting for. Try it for 2 more weeks. We could have more talks like tonight.
No, Mama.
I'll pay more attention to you, tell you the truth when you ask me, let you have your say.
No, Mama, we wouldn't have much to talk like tonight because it's the next part that's made the last part so good. No, Mama, this is how I have my say. This is how I say what I thought about it all, and I say no. To Dawson and Loretta, to Red Chinese and Epilepsy and Ricky and Cecil and you and me and Hope. I say no.
Then going to Mama on the sofa.
Just let me go.
How can I let you go?
You can go. You can because you have to. It's what you've always done.
You are my child.
I am what became of your child. I found an old picture of me, and it was somebody else, but not me. It was somebody brown and fat, who never heard of sick or lonely, somebody who cried and got fed and reached up and got held and kicked but didn't turn anybody, and slept whenever she wanted to, just by closing her eyes. Somebody who mainly just laid there and laughed at all the colors waving around over her head and chewed on a polka dot whale and woke up knowing some new trick nearly every day, and rolled over and drooled on the sheet and felt your hand pulling the quilt back up over me. That's who I started out, and this who is left. That's what it's about. It's somebody I lost, all right? It's my own self, who I never was, or I tried to be and never got there. Somebody I waited for who never came and never will. So see, it doesn't much matter what else happens in the world or in this house even. I'm what was worth waiting for and I didn't make it. Me, who might have made a difference to me. I'm not gonna show up. stay, except to keep you company. And that's not enough reason, because I'm not very good company. Am I?
No, and neither am I.
I had this strange little thought. Maybe it's not so strange. Anyway, after Christmas, after I decided to do this, I would wonder sometimes what might keep me here. What might make me worth staying for? And you know what it was? It was maybe if there was something I really liked. Like maybe if I really liked rice pudding or cornflakes for breakfast or something. That might be good enough.
Rice pudding is good.
Not for me.
You're not afraid?
Afraid of what?
I'm afraid of it. For me, I mean, when my time comes, I know it's coming, but
You don't know women. It's like a scary movie.
yeah, sneaking up on me like some killer on the loose hiding out in the backyard, just waiting for me to have my hands full someday. And how am I supposed to protect myself anyhow when I don't know what he looks like and I don't know how he sounds coming up behind me like that? Or if it will hurt or take very long, or what I don't get done before it happens?
You've got plenty of time left.
I forget what for right now.
For whatever happens, I don't know. For the rest of your life, for Agnes burning down more houses, or Dawson losing his hair, or
Jesse, I can't just sit here and say, okay, kill yourself if you want to. Sure you can, you just did. I can't.
just say it. Say it again.
How dare you? How dare you? You think you can just leave whenever you want? Like you're watching television here? No, you can't, Jesse. You can't make me feel like a fool for being a live child, and you are so wrong. I like it here, and I will stay here until they take me out, until they make me go, until they drag me screaming, and I mean screeching into my grave. And you're real smart to get away before then, because I mean, honey, you've never heard noise like the one I'm gonna make. Noise like that. Who am I
Jesse
talking
turns
to?
away.
You're gone already, aren't you? I'm looking right through you. I can't stop you because you're already gone. I guess you think they'll all have to talk about you now. I guess you think this will really confuse them. Oh yes, ever since Christmas you've been laughing to yourself and thinking, boy, are they all in for a surprise. Well, nobody's gonna talk about you, and nobody's gonna be a bit surprised, sweetheart. This is just like you. Do it the hard way. That's my girl, all right.
Jessie gets up and goes into the kitchen when Mama follows her.
You know who they're gonna feel sorry for? Me. How about that? Not you, me. They're gonna be ashamed of you. Yes, ashamed. If somebody asks Dawson about it, he'll change the subject as fast as he can. He'll talk about how much he has to pay to park this car these days.
Just leave me alone.
It's the truth.
I should have just left you a note.
Yes!
Then suddenly understanding what she has said, nearly paralyzed by the thought of it, she turns slowly to face Jessie, nearly whispering.
No. No, I might not have thought of all the things you've said.
It's okay, Mama.
And Mama is nearly unconscious from the emotional devastation of these last few moments. She sits down at the kitchen table, hurt and angry and so desperately afraid. But she looks almost numb. She is so far beyond what is known as pain, and she is virtually unreachable. And Jessie knows this and talks quietly, watching for signs of recovery. She washes her hands in the sink.
Remember you liked the preacher who did Daddy's? So if you want, you can ask him to do the service. That's okay with me.
What?
Putting on hand lotion as she talks.
And pick some songs you like, or let Agnes pick. She'll know exactly which ones. Oh, and I've had your dress cleaned, the same one you wore to Daddy's. You looked real good in that.
I don't remember, honey.
It won't be so bad once your friends start coming to the funeral home. You'll probably see people you haven't seen for years. But I thought about what you should say so you get over the nervous part when you first come in.
Come in.
Take them to see their flowers. They like that. And when they say, I'm sorry, Thelma, you just say, I appreciate you coming, Connie. And then ask how their garden was this summer, or what they're doing for Thanksgiving, or how their children are doing, or...
I don't think I should ask about their children. I'll talk about what they have on. That's always good. And I'll have some crochet work with me.
And Agnes will be there, so you might not have to talk at all.
Maybe if Connie Richards does come, I can get her to tell me where she gets that Irish yarn she calls it. I know it doesn't come from Ireland. I think it just green wrapper.
And be sure to invite enough people home afterwards so you get enough food to feed them all and have some left for you. But don't let anybody take anything out the house, especially Loretta.
Loretta will get all the food set up, honey. It's only fair to let her have some macaroni or something.
No, Mama, you have to be more selfish from now on.
Sitting down now with Mom.
Now somebody's bound to ask you why I did it. And why you... And you just say you don't know. That you loved me. And you know I loved you, and we just sat around tonight like every other night of our lives. And then I came over and kissed you and said, "Night, Mother." And you heard me close my bedroom door, and the next thing you heard was the shot. And whatever reasons I had, well, you guess I just took them with me.
It was something personal.
Good. That's good, Mama.
That's what I'll say then.
Personal. Yeah.
Is that what you want me to tell Dawson and Loretta too? We sat around, you kissed me, night, Mother? They'll want to know more, Jesse. They won't believe it.
Well, then, tell them what we did. I filled up the candy jars. I cleaned up. You had no idea, all right? I really think it's better that way. If they know we talked about it, they really won't understand how you let me go. It's private. Tonight is private, yours and mine. And I don't want anybody else to have it.
Okay.
Jesse, standing behind Mama now, holding her shoulders.
Now, when you hear the shot, I don't want you to come in. First of all, you won't be able to get in by yourself, but I don't want you trying. Call Dawson, then call the police, and then call Agnes. And then you'll need something to do till somebody gets here, so wash the hot chocolate pan. And you wash that pan till you hear the doorbell ring, and I don't care if it's an hour, you keep washing that pan.
I'll make my calls and then I'll just sit. I won't need something to do. What will the police say?
They'll do that gunpowder test and ask you what happened, and by that time, the ambulance will be there, and you'll come in and get me, and you know how that goes. You stay out here with Dawson and Loretta. You keep Dawson out here. I want the police in the room first, not Dawson, okay?
What if Dawson and Loretta want me to go home with them?
Jesse returning to the living room.
It's up to you.
I think I'll stay here. All they've got is Sanka.
Maybe Agnes could come and stay with you for a few days.
Mama standing up now, looking into the living room.
I'd rather be by myself, I think.
Walking toward the box Jesse brought in earlier.
You want me to give people those things?
They sit down on the sofa, Jesse holding the box on her lap.
I want Loretta to have my little calculator. Dawson bought it for himself, you know, but then he saw one he liked better, and he couldn't bring both of them home with Loretta counting every penny the way she does, so he gave the first one to me. It'd be funny for her to have it now. Don't you think? And all of my house slippers are in a sack in her closet. Tell her I know they'll fit, and I've never worn any of them, and make sure Dawson hears you tell her that. I'm glad he loves Loretta so much, but I wish he knew not everybody has her size feet.
Mama taking the calculator.
Okay.
Jesse reaching into the box again.
This letter is for Dawson, but it's mostly about you. So read it if you want. There's a list of presents for you for at least 20 more Christmases and birthdays. But if you want anything special, you better add it to this list before you give it to him. Or if you want it to be a surprise, you don't read that page. This Christmas, you're getting mostly stuff for the house, like a new rug in the bathroom and needlework. But next Christmas, you're really gonna costume next Christmas. I think you'll really like it. You never think of it.
And you think he'll go for it?
I think you'd feel like a real jerk if he doesn't. Telling him like it is. Now, this number's where you call Cecil. I called it last week and he answered, so I know he still lives there.
What do you want me to tell him?
Tell him we talked about him, and I only had good things to say about him. But mainly tell him to find Ricky, and tell him what I did, and tell Ricky you have something for him out here for me, and to come get it.
Pulls a sack out of the box.
What is it?
My watch.
He'll sell it.
That's the idea. I appreciate him not stealing it already. I'd like to buy him a good meal.
He'll buy dope with it.
Well, then I hope he buys good dope with it. And the rest of this is for you.
Handing Mama the box now, Mama picks up the things and looks at them.
When did you do all this? During my naps, I guess.
I guess. I try to be real quiet about it. Those are just little presents for whenever you need one. They're not bought presents, just things I thought you might like to look at, pictures or things you thought you've lost, things you didn't know you had even. You'll see.
I'm not sure I want them. They'll make me think of you.
No, they won't. That's just things, like a free tube of toothpaste I found hanging on the door one day.
All right then.
Well, maybe there's one nice present in there somewhere. It's Granny's ring she gave me when I thought you might like to have it. But I didn't think you'd wear it if I gave it to you right now.
Mama taking the box to a table nearby.
No, probably not. I'm ready for my manicure, I guess. Want me to wash my hands again?
Jesse standing up.
It's time for me to go, Mama.
No, Jesse, you've got all night.
No, Mama.
It's not even 10 o'clock.
Let me go.
I can't. You can't go. You can't do this. You didn't say it would be so soon, Jesse. I'm scared. I love you.
Let me go, Mama. I've said everything I had to say.
You said you wanted to do my nails.
Jesse taking a small step backward.
I can't. It's too late.
It's not too late.
I don't want you to wake Dawson or Retta when you call. I want them to still be up and dressed so they can get right over.
They wake up fast, Jesse, if they have to. They don't matter here, Jesse. You do. I do. We're not through yet. We've got a lot of things to take care of here. I don't know where my prescriptions are, and you didn't tell me what to tell Dr. Davis when he calls, or how much you want me to tell Ricky, or who I call to rake the leaves, or...
Don't try and stop me, Mama. You can't do it.
I can too. I'll stand in front of this hall, and you can't get past me. You have to knock me down to get away from me, Jesse. I'm not about to let
Mama
you.
struggles with Jesse at the door, and in the struggle, Jesse gets away from her and
Night, Mother.
Jesse vanishes into her room, and we hear the door lock just as Mama gets to it
Jesse!
and pounds on the door.
Jesse, you let me in there. Don't you do this, Jesse. I'm not going to stop screaming until you open this door, Jesse. Jesse! Jesse! What if I don't do any of the things you told me to do? I'll tell Cecil what a miserable man he was to make you feel the way he did, and I'll give Ricky's watch to Dawson if I feel like it, and the only way you can make sure I do what you want is to come up here and make me, Jesse! Jesse! Stop this! I don't know. I didn't know. I was here all this time. How could I know you were so alone?
And Mama stops for a moment, breathless and frantic, putting her ear to the door, and when she doesn't hear anything, she stands up straight and again and screams once more.
Jesse, please!
And we hear the shot. And it sounds like an answer. It sounds like no. And Mama collapses against the door, tears streaming down her face. But not screaming anymore. In shock now.
Jesse, child, forgive me. I thought you were mine.
And she leaves the door and makes her way through the living room. Around the furniture as though she doesn't know that it was there. Not knowing what to do. Finally, she goes to the stove in the kitchen and picks up the hot chocolate pan and carries it with her to the phone and holds on to it while she dials the number. She looks down at the pan, holding it tight like her life depended on it. She hears Loretta answer.
Loretta? Let me talk to Dawson, honey.